familiar sound of my hammer falling onto the blackened metal rang throughout the smithy. My teacher, Orland, was holding the metal in place against the anvil with his tongs. He tapped with the small hammer in the places he wished for me to strike with my much larger sledgehammer. It was good, hard work, and my apprenticeship had almost ended. Orland knew life was hard, with my father working as a thatcher and I getting the little money my master generously gave me. It was enough, though, to support my family. My little sister was almost 12 now. Being 4 years her senior, I cared for and protected her. Recently, she had been feeling sick. She has open sores and bumps everywhere. Mother had been caring for her, while father and I worked to buy food. We would be much better off once I had completed my apprenticeship. Times are scary, though. People are dying left and right from some plague. I pray that isn't what my sister has. After Orland and I finished the sword we were crafting, he gave me a few coins and sent me home. I arrived home, exhausted, looking forward to rest and a wash. I entered my home, and it was eerily quiet. There was bright wool on the table. I had nearly forgotten that today was my birthday. I chuckled to myself and thought that maybe my family was trying to surprise me. I walked into the main area of our small abode and dropped my coins. Time slowed as they fell to the ground, my eyes freezing on the cold, lifeless body of my sister. I was paralyzed. No wonder it was so quiet. She couldn't be dead. She couldn't be. I broke into the room of my parents, screaming that she was dead. My mother was on her side. I came to her and shook her, trying to wake her from her dreams. I turned her over, and I couldn't close my eyes quickly enough. She was dead, too. She must have caught the disease from caring for my sister. 2 deaths in one day is too many. I could only pray for my father to get home safely. It was hours past when my father would usually get home when I heard a knock at the door. I wiped away the tear streaks in the grime of my face and answered it. There was the local constable, telling me of how my father was run over by a wagon. He handed me the only object they found on him, a paintbrush. I took it and thanked the constable. The pain in my soul was too much to handle for the time being, so I tried to sleep. The next morning, I buried my family, tears falling onto their grave mounds. As I cleared the possessions out of my sister's room, I noticed a box under her bed. It had my name written on it, and so I opened it. Inside I found small containers of paint. I put this paint on the table in the main room, and I proceeded into my parents' room. Again, I noticed a box under the bed. This was a large, long, flat box. I opened it up to find a canvas. My whole family had come together to give me the opportunity to paint. The opportunity to be more than just a metalworking blacksmith. The opportunity to be an artist. I sat down at our only table, and I uncapped the paint. I laid the canvas on the wood, and I dipped my brush in the paint. There were only a few colors, including black. I was set on using black. I drew skeletons, I drew people. I drew death himself, taking children, kings, priests, emperors, knights, nobles, every kind of person. Life is fragile, no matter what your status. The paintbrush flowed naturally, as if I was born to do this. My pain, my grief, my vision of death, it all swirled on the canvas. After finishing my first painting, death leading an army of every man in the land to their doom, I realized it had been days, that I had hardly eaten nor slept. I went to my place of work, and Orland greeted me with sad eyes after hearing the news. He gave me pay and sent me home, saying that I wouldn't have to come to work for a while. I returned home and realized I was out of a job. Orland couldn't afford to keep me on pay when I wasn't doing any work for him. I came to the conclusion that I would have to sell my paintings. I did so, using any saved up money to buy food, drink, and painting supplies. At first, my Danse Macabre, meaning Dance of Death, paintings didn't sell for much. Then, things started to change. I heard word of eradication of the plague from other merchants. The atmosphere became brighter, as if the oppression of disease had lifted. Pricing on paintings rose at an amazing rate, and I started to make more money than I had ever dreamt. I was becoming a rich man, but I never really indulged in luxuries. I didn't want to forget my beginnings. Thus I stayed in our old house, with the graves in the backyard. That way I could never lose my inspiration. I owe it all to my family, and their belief that there is an artist inside me. That paintbrush is what saved my sanity, my health, and my life. Danse Macabre is a dark, somber form of art. It focuses on the transience of life, and was very popular around the time of the Black Death. It was first seen in the Church of the Holy Innocents in France in 1425. Danse Macabre is another way of proving the theory that one factor of the Renaissance was the sudden realization of the fragility of life.